Monday. Hey, how are you? How are you, most esteemed viewer? I don't know if you guys saw the little cordial invitation we posted to say we're going live at 12 today. So hopefully you've joined us. Let's go see, why don't we? So welcome to Magickal Monday. Oh, come on.
Magickal Monday.
Magickal Monday. It's Monday again. Where's
During
the time going?
During the Mercury retrograde.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Yes, look at there.
There's a ton of people here already.
Who's here? Look at them all.
There's a ton of people. Gosh, we've got the crew here already. So we've got Gilda, good morning. Geraldine, good morning. Carol, good morning. Kaz, good morning. And Savannah, good morning. And thank you all, guys, for being channel members. We really, really, really appreciate it. So there you go.
And there's Wendy.
And hey, Wendy, how are you?
Aren't we all enjoying this lovely Mercury retrograde?
It's a great time for getting things sort of done.
Well, it's a great time for finishing old business. Absolutely. I've seen a lot of stuff kind of get tidied up and tallied up and fixed up. But boy, what crazy energy. I don't know if anybody else has noticed, like, you're scrolling along and all of a sudden Facebook just goes blank.
I know.
Or, you know, something that's been working and then it just stops. And then you go to try to figure out how to fix it, and then it just starts again.
Case in point, I got a panic call. Was it Friday? I want to say it was from Jen and the little swipe thing that we have for taking credit cards at the register was just refusing to talk to Wi-Fi at all. Said it wouldn't go online, and I couldn't figure out. I mean, I restarted everything, and nothing helped. And we restarted the thing like 2 or 3 times, and nothing helped. And eventually said, "Well, just go into settings." So she went into the settings, and it says it's online. And she went back, and it is. So go figure.
It's just crazy.
It's just one of these. Yes. Oh gosh, we were busy yesterday. We had lots to do.
Oh my God, let's see. Yeah, we worked in the garden for hours. I think we went out about 9:30, 10 o'clock, and we were out there almost all. I don't even think we had lunch, did we, yesterday? I don't think we had lunch yesterday.
No, you come to mention it. No, we didn't.
No,
have lunch.
We came in around 6:30, 7 o'clock, and made dinner. And all we did was heat up leftovers and stuff. But that was okay. It was really nice. The leftovers are good sometimes.
They are.
But we planted out 30 assorted brassicas, which are like cauliflower, cabbage,
you did the planting.
Broccoli.
I'm not qualified.
Well, he was still filling beds because we still have 3 of those giant birdie beds to fill. So 30 3
or 4.
30 brassicas, 30 pak choi, little Chinese cabbages.
Like them.
I planted out the peas and beans, and then I planted direct sowed another set so that we have succession of those. Planted out our cucumbers. We have pickling cucumbers and sweet summer cucumbers. Planted out sunflowers, 20 sunflowers, and corn. We had 24 corn that are about this tall, and then I direct sowed the rest. We have 50 corn.
Oh my God.
And I planted out 48 sorted squash and melons.
Well, here's the thing. A couple of them didn't come up, and
Several didn't come up.
So we resowed them, and then something came up, and we're not sure.
Right. So
apart from the one we resowed that came up, the other one came up as well. So we had
sowed like 4 zucchini and 4 yellow summer squash and 4 whatever they were, melon, cantaloupe, honeydew, all these different things.
So we don't know what
And it was weeks and weeks and weeks, and nothing happened. And they're on heat mats with grow lights, and they're getting the perfect water, blah, blah, blah. And we thought, well, that's strange. So I did a little research, and one of the guys said that for those really bigger seeds, like, squash, butternut squash, pumpkin, that you should nip the end so that it can put its root down so much quicker. So we said, well, we'll go back because maybe these rotted for some reason, even though they don't seem to be overwatered, and we'll plant them all again. So we have double of what we wanted. And then the ones that were in the tray that I just kind of like put aside, I no longer had the schematic for it. That's what I call it when I list what I planted in each cell, So now I have things that I don't know what they are. Like I can tell patty pan squash, summer squash, zucchini, yellow squash, that kind of thing. I know they're squashes, but I don't know which one is acorn and which one is till they get bigger, right?
Until the fruit starts
And the
to
same
develop,
with melon.
sure.
I can tell, okay, these leaves are melon, so I know they're either honeydew or cantaloupe or iroquois or, I think kind of like.
What about watermelon? The leaves
and
the
we
same on
planted
watermelon?
So you can say these are melons and these are squashes, but which squash they are, we don't know. So I planted out 48 of them yesterday
Oh my God.
into the big giant grow bags.
I think there's going to be a bit of a farmer's market come Friday
Well,
on Before Circle, the way we're going.
You never have any idea
Well, that's
how
true.
successful you're going to be or how successful the woodchuck is going to be. But I'm really hoping that, the idea is on Friday morning to go out and harvest what's ready and bring it in and have a farmer's market at the shop on Fridays and Saturdays to benefit the church. So in other words, whatever we sell, that money would go into the Church of the Eternal Circle.
Yep, help pay the bills, and if there's anything left over, it can go towards
There's still so much to be done. All the herbs have come up all the time: oregano, feverfew, chamomile, all those kind of things. Mullein, wormwood, they're all going to.
I don't know where we're officially out of space now, and
We'll figure it out.
We've. She's gone nuts. It's like when we were picking up a load of organic topsoil and compost, which to mix together. So fortunately, we have this truck, so it's kind of handy. So we can get like a couple of yards of earth in the back. So
we're on 6 yards done.
Yeah, I think we
probably
were
need
into,
2 more loads.
Yeah, maybe 2. Yeah, 2.5 maybe. So we a fair few tons of earth we've been moving around here, and it's good actually. I've been putting on a bit of muscle. Yesterday, I feel quite virtuous. I quadrupled my move goal yesterday and walked nearly 12 miles.
Back and forth to the garden bed with shovels of soil.
and mowing.
And
I mowed the lawn.
Yeah,
So,
that's
and I had
true.
to go over it a lot because it was very, very thick. And,
It was quite a meadow.
Yeah, it was kind of. But yeah. So yeah.
Being in touch with the earth.
Muscles.
Being in touch with the earth is so important. Yes, it was a lot of work. I promise you guys I'm not overdoing. I have a chair, and when I get tired, I sit,
I was looking this morning by the one bed and I thought, what kind of weird animal has tunneled with that really circular hole?
Oh no, it's the holes
That was
from my
where your
folding chair
sunk in.
holes. Yeah, I saw that too.
I love it. So yeah, no, when we were picking up the load of soil, which is what I was talking about, coming back to it, Lisa was saying as she was paying in the place,
The lady was asking me because it's like our third trip,
And you said what was it, 900 and something you planted?
She raised her eyebrow and she said, "Are you selling them like in a nursery?" And I said, "Oh no." And she said, "Well, that's almost as many plug plants as we have."
It's true. It's true.
But I got yarrow and all sorts.
The lavender when we were doing cleanup the other day. For those of you that we talked about this,
I'm sure
I think
they've
on
heard
Friday,
this before.
didn't we?
Yeah.
But when we were doing cleanup to get ready for gathering
little pieces.
outside, some of the lavender obviously gets disturbed and little bits broken off, but rather than just sweep them up and put them in the compost, Lisa picked them out. She put rooting hormone on them and planted them, and I think 14 out of 16 have stuck
it looks
it.
like they've stuck it.
They've
So
stuck
now
it.
they're
So now
under
we've
the
got
grow
more
lamps
lavender
too.
plants.
Yeah, I moved out enough stuff yesterday that I could put other things under the grow lamps. So
I'm looking forward to making our own essential oil from lavender. And that's one of the things that's quite easy to make an essential oil from, but you need a lot of lavender flowers
and
to
rose
do it.
petals. I would love to
you
make
would need
our own.
tons of rose petals.
Yeah.
You need tons.
Next year, though, we have some other things planned. We
We
can't
make
do it
our
all
own rose water right now
Right.
with the rose bush growing out the back.
at the back of the store. Yeah.
That's very prolific.
Can't do everything in one year. So next year we'll really look into more beds for herbs and bees. We got to get the bees going and the rose garden, things like that.
Oh gosh.
Don't laugh.
Yeah, no, I don't know. We're there's a point where you get into saturation gardening, and I think we've crossed that thing now.
Oh yeah, it could be a market garden, I think.
It's
But
yeah.
no, you might as well.
It's going to
see
take
if
you
you
an
can-
hour every day to water it this rate.
2, I think. I was timing it, and I was counting like all of the beds and saying like 5, 10, 15, 20. I expect it'll be almost 2 hours worth of watering. But
Yeah, well,
I
it'd be
have some other cool
fantastic 'cause
plans.
It rains every single night, and it's gorgeous in
We're
the
not in
day
the
like it was
tropics.
yesterday. That would be perfect.
No, but our organic milk comes in cardboard cartons that are waxed on the outside. So what you do is you take a tiny needle or a push pin and you make like one hole in there, so the water just
One single hole.
little drips. So you can put a gallon of water in one of those grow bags, and it'll just drip, so that the plant's roots don't dry out.
I think they're only a quarter, but I know what you mean.
No, they're half a gallon. They're half a gallon.
Half a gallon?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anywho, in touch with the earth.
Yes.
All right. I was
And-
having
and
this
we are.
discussion. Sorry.
No, go on, please. I was just
Oh.
saying, we are very much in touch with the earth. We've been getting it under the fingernails and everything. So.
Oh yeah, my nails are a mess. I was having this discussion with Sean the other day on the porch, and we were talking about, putting the worlds to rights. So we were talking about all kinds of things,
it.
politics and all kinds of things. And then I said, when I teach my herb class, I bring up the fact that it's sad that most children, even children under 5, could recognize 10 corporate logos, but not 10 plants.
True that, isn't it?
Right?
Honestly, I think sometimes there's this. I want to say it's like almost visceral isolation.
Disconnect.
We are utterly disconnected from the world. I mean, and just to come harping back to Celtica, I mean that's part of the thing that we're trying to do. I mean, because Sean had never seen the video, and I played it for him, and he's like, "Oh my
He's like, that's really
That's
cool.
exactly what I
That's
was saying.
what we need,
You know,
yeah.
this is what we need to just get people cognizant.
But
of
look at the difference, right? When we're old now, but when we were raised, your parents said, go outside and play. Right? So you went out and you looked for 4-leaf clovers, or you made a whistle out of a thick piece of grass, or, like you were in touch with nature, whether you realized it or not.
Little boys are supposed to have muddy knees.
Well, little girls play outside too. But nowadays it's go play your video game.
Yeah.
So they don't know what a dandelion is, or making wishes on buttercups and things like that. So that does take your perspective in a different place,
Well, we come
where you don't
further
have
isolated.
the same regard or respect for nature. And again, children go to the grocery store and they have no understanding that meat in the package
buy your
was an animal.
Yes. Buy buy your chicken at the grocery store where no animals have been harmed. Yeah, right. Okay.
No, but I mean, I saw that little video. I can't remember if it was in Italian or Spanish. The little child that doesn't want to eat the octopus, and then he's like 3, and he's like, "I'm not eating this. It was alive," And he's like telling his mom he wants to be a vegetarian. So there are people out there that are respectful. I don't mean that no one is, but in general, we're training our
Monster disconnect.
we're
There is a
training our
monster
children in
disconnect,
a
yeah.
different way. So we really would love it if more people were mindful of taking their kids outside, and showing them this is poison ivy. If it's 3, leave it be. And
I didn't
you
know
know.
what poison ivy looked like until Jim. Lovely fella. I wonder if he's still around. No, Jim, it's all got to come out, mate. He showed it to me. Now I can recognise poison ivy. But I'm amazed that so many people that I didn't grow up around here. Right, I first set foot on these sacred shores about 2:30 in the afternoon, December 15th, 1998. Just roughly speaking. But I had no idea what poison ivy was. We don't have it in Europe. We don't have it in the UK,
you've got
especially.
stinging nettles and other nasty
Oh
things.
yeah, yes. I can recognise nettles. I mean, they're a very beneficial plant, and I believe there is a benefit also for poison ivy. I think they Urushi is a Japanese lacquerware they make from it, which is made from the urushiol, which is the oil, obviously, that causes the major problem with us that we have this big issue with. But no, I have to point out what poison ivy is to some people, and they grow up around here. It's like, come on, you ought to know that stuff, you know? You really ought to know that. But what do you guys think? You're watching us. You've been very quiet today. I mean, just chime in. What do you think? Do you think we got too disconnected from nature? I mean, what do you do for those of you who are mums and grandmums and all that fun stuff? How do you communicate that to people, or just your friends? How do you communicate that to people?
I just think that if more people did get outside, or if they had no outdoor area, do some potting on your patio. You could grow a small patio tomato or some flowers or something, just to let kids see how things work, or to become part of nature yourself and build a plant familiar. What have you got there?
Well, Mike's just chimed in. Thank you, Mike, for joining us. And he says, hello, everyone. Just received my latest package from you, the Morrigan. She is fantastic, exquisite. Good. Oh, she is indeed beautiful. But it's one of the things,
I'm glad
Mike,
she got there in one piece, because the post office has been quite entertaining too.
Well, we use this special expanding foam packaging. People say, why does it cost so much to ship this stuff? Unfortunately, it's, postage is not cheap now. I don't know if you guys have mailed anything anywhere lately, but the price has gone through the damn roof.
Well, just to send a card to somebody is ridiculous now.
Mm-hmm. But on top of that, we use this expanding foam that locks the statue into the box, and it's all completely recyclable. So please recycle it, and if you feel like it, send it back to us, and we can use it again and again and again and again. That would be fantastic. That would be the best possible use of it. But yeah,
it cups all around all the tiny areas.
It does a really good job. And when we were doing this,
throw it from a plane and jump out onto it.
We did. We actually put a statue in a box and
Joe,
threw it and kicked it around and jumped on it. And
Joe was at the shop, and they took it and packed it and threw it off the porch and jumped on it and everything to see if it would keep the statue from breaking. I think it was Gwyn ap Neath was in the box.
It was Gwyn.
And they were worried about his antlers.
Well,
and
he's the most fragile one,
you know.
So yeah. Gosh, what's Helena Rose? Thank you for joining us, another channel member. Big shout out to you. She says, agree. I went for a drive yesterday and admired the beautiful Hudson Valley. It is gorgeous.
Mm-hmm. Everything is blooming. It's lilacs. And
she came by and saw Sean yesterday.
Oh, great.
How cool is that? Nice. He's a lovely guy.
I'm glad. He's lovely as right, yeah.
And she played outside as a kid. Well, we should play outside.
Yeah.
God, I tell people who come to see me, if they've gotten sullied and depressed and very, just being in nature, just feeling the sun on your bones can be so restorative, And one of the things that we're so looking forward to doing, and hopefully we secure the land to be able to do this, is that we can plant this like little grove of a plant or a particular tree, and you can go and sit in amongst that and just
be with the medicine,
soak up that energy. Right? Yeah,
because when we talk about the medicine of a plant or animal medicine, we're talking about mind, body, spirit, right? So I've said this before too, but in the herbalism class, or in any class that I teach, I always try to bring people to it by discussing something else they may already understand, right? So when we look at herbalism, if people understand the chakras, we liken how the plant grows to get them to understand what the plant does.
This is fascinating, right? If you guys don't know this.
Like lavender, for example, grows tall and has this bluish purpley flower.
Dead giveaway where you're holding it.
So we would think that lavender must be associated with throat chakra because that's the color it is. And then when we think about the planets, we can easily learn planetary rulership by understanding that throat chakra, communication, is ruled by Mercury. So now we understand lavender is a throat chakra energy ruled by Mercury, right? Because planetary rulers are important to understanding the plant's medicine, right? So where would we think, what would we do with rose?
There's a good one. We'll wait for you to answer in the chat while we'll...
So I want you to think about red roses versus pink roses versus yellow roses.
Oh, now we're getting into color as well.
So there's that kind of thing. But when we have those discussions, the idea in any of the classes that we teach is not to just give someone a map. Yes, it's important that they have those handouts and that they understand those handouts. So yes,
and can actually read a map.
Right, it's important to read the map. But we want to bring people to the place where they could draw the map. Right?
Shimmy up a tree and make your own map. Yes.
Right? So that way, if something isn't in the handout, or something isn't in the book, or something is in the book and you think, why did this person say this in this book? You can get to that point where you recognize thinking it through and understanding it is unraveling the mystery or having that personal journey rather than just saying, oh, well, so-and-so says that this crystal is for this, so I'll do that. Why would they do that? Does it make sense?
Do you know, you see, you're talking about a dangerous thing here. It's called critical thinking. You know, to be able to look at facts or discern fact from opinion, for example, that's part of critical thinking. You know, people get very emotional about things. It doesn't necessarily make it right. They just have a very strong feeling. And it doesn't matter how many times you tell a lie, it's still a damn lie.
But a lot of the books are regurgitated. Somebody took...
That's true. Right. That's true.
Gilda's saying her kids play outside and her son is always asking random facts about animals.
Oh, well, that's cool.
It's awesome.
And that's, you know what? And that's really good for you too, Gilda, because it's always cool. I don't know, speaking personally, I love to be asked questions to which I don't know the answer, because that means I have to go learn something now. I'm going, yeah, you know what? That's a cracking question. Yeah. Let me ponder that for a while. Because, you know, as you learn, so you teach. As you teach, so you learn. There's this wonderful sort of, you know, every time we teach our Craft of the Wise class, we learn so much
we have
from
an
our
aha
students.
As well. We go, oh my gosh, I didn't realize.
You know,
that's
brilliant.
That other connection, you know. So it is as you learn, teach. It's part of karmic law, isn't it? You know.
It is. It is.
So now that
nobody wants to say about the rose, by the way. You're gonna.
All right. Well, obviously, pink roses are heart chakra.
You would
Venus.
think, wouldn't you?
So now, just like anything else, you can have a first ruler and a secondary ruler. Meaning that pink roses are heart chakra, Venus. But yellow roses have a secondary ruler, sun or solar plexus, right? Because we know that flowers have a language and that yellow roses mean something different than white roses or red roses. And then red roses' secondary ruler would be Mars, passion, right? So you start to see how you can make these connections or understandings. And now that things have lifted enough that we can gather and not really be so horribly worried about dying from COVID.
True.
Not saying that if you wanted to wear a mask, you would be shunned in any way.
God, no.
Certainly, if you want to wear a mask in our store, you are more than welcome to. And some of our people are still wearing masks because they have, autoimmune or compromised immune systems. So absolutely you can wear a mask in our store and you can wear a mask in any of our classes and you could wear a mask to any of our circles. We're not saying that. But we're saying now that we feel we can kind of get our lives back a little bit, get that back to normal, I'm going to be teaching some classes that are in person only and not on Zoom. So
Well,
Reiki,
they just would not. Well, Reiki, for example, you cannot teach via.
so Reiki is going to start July 20th.
Ooh.
And Reiki is on Thursday nights from 6:30 to 8:30. So level 1 is 4 weeks, level 2 is 8 weeks, and masters is 4 weeks.
Wow.
And when we get to the internship for level 2, we'll be looking for guinea pigs. Now, you can certainly send your name in for distance healing, and we'll put that out on Magickal Monday when we get a little bit closer to the time where we need the distance healing guinea pigs. But to learn Reiki, you must be attuned. You have to be in person. Energy is transferred person to person, teacher to student.
Yep.
Prior to Reiki, in June, I'm going to teach an introduction to shamanism.
Ooh.
Now, I don't profess to be a shaman. That takes millennia.
A lifetime, probably.
Around 30 years ago, I was trying to decide which spiritual path I really, really wanted to dedicate myself to. I had started in Wicca in 88 or 89. And then someone brought up to me that, well, you don't live in Europe, you live here in America. And if your dad had ties to Native American, then you shouldn't be doing Wicca. You should instead of looking into your Celtic roots, you should look into
That was one of
Native
them
American,
5 of Wands moment, wasn't it? Everybody has an opinion.
Right. You should look into Native American shamanism. And I thought, well, fair enough, I will. And I looked at things like their medicine wheel, and I had a shaman come several different times and teach the course. He taught a course in shamanism, and I took that same course every time he came because he was coming to the shop. So, and it did speak to me in some ways. I did retain a lot of the information and understanding, and found that there were definitely, again, a different language for the same kind of understanding, honoring nature, honoring spirit, honoring animals, living in harmony, all those kind of things. So I developed a 3-session course, right? It's 3 evenings. So in June, it's 3 nights from 6:30 to 8:30 on Thursdays, and then Reiki will start the following month. So I think it's June 8th, 15th, and 22nd, and then we have a couple weeks off, and then July 20th, Reiki starts. So if you are interested and you live close enough to come, because this will not be Zoomed, we do Journey to the Lower World, we do power animal work, we learn how to retrieve and deliver power animals, and we learn about divination skills and upper world journeys, building relationships with spirit guides and guardians.
A funny story, I've got to tell you this. It's legendary. There was one time, Lisa was speaking of groundhogs and all that. There was one time when Lisa was teaching and she was doing a journey to the lower world. And there was a groundhog, of course, living underneath the annex. So just to the point where she's leading people into this deep trance meditation.
Well, you left out the beginning part.
Okay, go on then.
The beginning part is this. One of the students was really unnerved about me calling it the lower world. So she was really freaked out. She's like, that's hell. And I said, there's nothing about Christianity in this course. This is Native American shamanism. The lower world is the primordial world where the animal spirits are, and has nothing to do with hell. You have nothing to worry. I don't know if I can make myself go, blah, 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 blah. So the moment we started drumming, of course, the groundhog that was living under the annex decided to scratch himself and thump the floor very close to where she was lying. So it was like, bah, 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 and that was it for her. She was like, yeah.
Here's another thing. It's so worth looking at the etymology of words, because hell, you understand, means light. Well, maybe you don't. But you think about Helios, the sun. That's the HEL at the start of that is the indicative of as a source of light. Lux in Greek, if you will. So it's interesting that, you know, the Indo-European languages, the root of hell is light. And there's a company, I think, one of the biggest Swedish light manufacturers called Hella, Hella, and, you know, that's because they make lights. So hell simply means light, a place of light. And if you look, interestingly, as a little sidetrack, the devil card, he's what, 15, isn't he? Is he 15?
Yes, 15.
15 in the
Now, why is he a 15?
oh, there's a thought for
1
you.
and 5 is 6.
What's that? That's hex, isn't it? 6 cube, 6 sides, physicality, reality. Oh, you're gonna have to dig it out now. Yeah. So we're just having a little tarot talk, wandering off into the weeds here. But his pose, if you notice, he's got this this in this hand, and he's holding the torch in the other down. So we've got the as above, so below thing going on, and this, oddly enough, is the live long and prosper pose that Leonard Nimoy used for Spock. But what this is actually a very sacred blessing. The sanctity
Where
of
are you
the
going to
human
plant
womb.
the seed, Joel?
Exactly, the sanctity of the human womb. You know, where the spark of life germinates into a being, and you see he's carrying this flash of light down the Kabbalah. And he's igniting the tail of the guy sat there, stood there.
So numerology is really important. 1 and 5 is 6. Let's look at the other 6.
Oh, of course, Helena Rose. Yeah, Helen. That means light as well. You know, a fair lit face kind of thing, I believe. Helen, you know. So yeah.
All right, so nobody was thrilled about that. But it was
I was
exciting.
thrilled about that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's just I'm chiming in. But yeah, no. People, you understand there's a big delay. It takes. We're like 10, 15 seconds behind what we're saying now. You can just see there.
Okay.
It takes a while. So somebody will chime in.
All right.
It's fascinating stuff, and all of this is hidden in plain sight.
Oh yeah, you just have to have the eyes to see it. Depends on where you're standing and your perspective on things. Absolutely.
And as hokey tour guides, we try to point things out for people to see. And if you look over here,
Wait, don't look there.
kind of thing.
But so animal medicine is fascinating, and we think about how the different animals live, and not just their survival, but how they mate and how they have offspring and all that kind of stuff. And we look at their medicine for mind, body, spirit, because again, there is not a disconnect. You know, it's not like my physical body is the only thing that needs medicine. So it's not a medicine that is going to mask something so that you're not really cured. It's more about restorative energy, like you would get with herbs and natural foods. So we talk about animal medicine for mind, body, and spirit.
Oh gosh. Well, shout out to Shannon. Thank you for joining us. Shannon's one of our A-list members, so excuse us.
So the A-list members just finally got their video. We owe them one more, but
we'll get there. We just got to get ourselves cloned.
Spread a little thin there.
But gosh, no, what you're saying is so chuffing profound, you know. It's
right. Oh, you have pain? Here, take this pain pill.
Well, think about
it'll stop your nerves from having pain.
You think
but
about,
I still have this thing going on that's causing me the pain.
But think about what medicine supposedly does, what all medicine does. And the idea is, I mean, where does healing come from? We ourselves heal, yeah? So any kind of medicine can do, whether it's conventional, whether it's complementary, whether it's alternative, whichever way you want to look at it, all any kind of medicine can do is help promote the optimal conditions for healing to occur. And ultimately healing occurs within us. And for people are realizing now, although we knew many, 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 many moons ago, before we got blinded by science, quite literally, where we start look too closely at things and miss the whole picture, that dealing with something holistically is the way to fix it. Balance has to be restored. Balance has to be restored.
Right.
The best justice is restorative justice.
Right.
It's not punitive, it's restorative.
Yeah, the word RX comes from restoration, not mask that problem and hide the symptom.
To restore, to bring back balance. So, like you're lacking something in your diet, then you put that thing into your diet to restore the balance, kind of thing. It really is cool. Hello, Yoiti, Joiti. I'm murdering your name. I'm sorry.
Hell.
But thank you for joining us.
Hello. Well, there you go. There's hell in that.
There is.
Right? That's
that could be, may light be with you.
It's namaste, isn't it?
It could be. The divine within me recognizes and reaches out and adores the divine within you.
Right.
Ooh, it's like all of us.
All life comes from the sun. You see, words. We just take
stuff for granted. I mean, it's like Hoyle Vower. It just means goodbye, but it doesn't. It does not.
Hoyle is kind of like aloha, isn't it?
It's a massive word. It's a tiny word, but it's a massive word. Oh gosh, I just.
Look, we better get on to readings for our channel members, or we're going to run out of time.
It's only past, but we've got. Namaste.
We've got a ton of channel members here.
We do. Okay, I think the very first person, if you want to start pulling some, because one of the little benefits you may notice, although we've never really advertised it as such.
Could you go back and tell
me? I can. Gilda, Geraldine, Carol, Cass, Savannah, Helena, and I think Shannon. That's the order. All right. So one of the little benefits of being a channel member is whenever we're online and doing a live, and we happen to have an available tarot deck near us, we'll likely give you a reading.
Pull a card.
We'll likely do that for you. So
unless of course we're immersed in something and we can't.
Unless we wind up somewhere completely different, which does happen.
Because we have 1,000,001 things to do today, and I'm teaching my astrology course tonight.
We do.
So.
Astrology, superb. What a course. That's
we're
so
only
worth
on class 5.
I know.
We're into aspects tonight. Minds will bleed. Anyway. All right, so one card.
Squares, trines, sextiles.
I don't go into the big things like semi-sex quadrant and stuff like that.
See, she knows this stuff and she can't cut and paste. Get the hell out of it. What on earth? All right, so this is for Gilda.
One card for Gilda. Her inspiration for the week.
Gilda, you get the Queen of Wands. Oh, hello, old soul.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. And this is quite a. This is a cracking card. It really is. I'm being told you need to stop second guessing yourself and trust your intuition a little more. Maybe work on something. Maybe work on your divinatory skills. There's something you could do a little bit just to try give yourself that little bit more self-confidence, because you're actually quite good at this. You're quite in tune. If you listen to that innate wisdom within you, I like this one.
Right. This is the Leo card.
So it is.
Right?
Well, it's very Leo, not
I think, Gilda, this week, this card is saying for you, get ready to be seen.
It's all about me.
So, my mom was really cool. She always used to say, never leave the house without at least mascara and lipstick. So, I don't know why, but I think there's some kind of social life this week, or running into somebody you didn't expect to see and wanting to look your best. So I'm not saying don't go out, but I'm saying go out, have some Leo pride in how you look before you leave. And I think you'll be happy that you did that. Not that you want to only meet somebody who cares what you look like, but I'm saying you want to have that confidence and know that you looked your best when you ran into that person. So I think that's what this is about. All right. What? Leos are prideful.
The first time I met the commander of the what was he the brigade commander of he actually came to a job site that I was working on. He arrived in his helicopter in the middle of a chuffing rainstorm with the river in spate, and I was absolutely soaked through to the skin and coated in crap, wielding a shovel. So it wasn't the best opportunity to make a good impression as a young officer.
Well, he knew that you were mucking in. So.
He asked for a shovel, in fact. So yeah, lovely guy. Brigadier LeBlanc Smith. What a great name. I remember LeBlanc Smith. I always thought if I ever made it to Brigadier, I would just hyphenate my last two names. I would be Garnet Stewart. I would have thought that would have done it.
That'd be lovely.
Because that's my middle name, Garnet. There you go. I shared a secret with you. All right, you're choosing.
Garnet is his middle name.
One of them.
All right.
I have many.
Geraldine, your inspiration for the week. Geraldine, your inspiration for the week. Go within, you already know the answers. I think there's some really good financial news this week, and I think some decisions to be made, but this is trying not to be influenced by outside forces, going with what you are holding and what you know is the truth.
And I think this is, I really feel you get far more with sugar or honey than you'll ever get with vinegar. And this is very much, Geraldine, about coming somewhere with a place of love and nurture, you know? Anger only begets anger. Frustration only begets frustration.
Right, energy follows thought.
If you throw, because this card is the quintessential pour love onto the situation, and it will all take care of itself. And there's much fecundity, fertility, abundance coming into this card. So it really is, you know, just pour love onto it, and it'll be okay. So even if somebody's been pushing your buttons, you know, if they go low, you go high, kid. Just take yourself into that elevated state of mind and don't sink to their level.
All right. Next up is Carol, your inspiration for the week.
Oh gosh, is it my turn?
So Carol, is it great granddaughter or great grandson? What was the reveal yesterday?
I had to catch my breath then.
Why?
Oh, I just thought something really funny with reveal parties, you know, where something inadvertently gets burnt down or blown up.
No.
Also, the Queen of Wands.
Oh.
Maybe there's a theme going on here. You know you're an old soul. You don't need me to tell you that. You're also very much in the position of matriarch now in the family. So the one that brings order to situations. So again, you know, use that inner wisdom, the wisdom that you've built up not just over this lifetime, but several lifetimes, I have to say, to be the good arbiter, to be the good judge. And I really feel that, you know, sometimes you may need to inspire some people because they get themselves down in the dumps a little bit. Great grandson, she says. So there you go.
All right. So for you, Carol, I don't know why, but this cat is standing out. And I'm seeing this for you as the Queen of Witchery. Right? So herding cats is never easy. You know,
say that again.
I used to have a little harness for my cat Minnie. She loved to go out.
Take her for a drag.
So when we were in Birmingham and we were going to leave her there, I got a harness so that I could take her outside, but because she couldn't run away. But it was taking her for a drag, yeah. But I feel like this is holding court and being on top of things this week. Maybe working with some of your family and trying to get them all focused in a particular direction. And just, you know, reminding them that you are in that position for a reason. So they better...
Yeah, well, respect my authority.
They better listen up.
When the chairs come to be judged,
right.
eh?
Cass's turn. Cass's inspiration for the week. This is funny.
Is there a theme going on, perchance?
You just couldn't.
You can't make this stuff up.
All right. But different person, even though it's the same card. This could be the announcement of a pregnancy.
Oh, hello.
There's a little rabbit on this card that signifies great fertility. So you might find that your family is growing, or you might get some information regarding plans for family growth. And I do think that it's still about looking within and finding answers that you can help people who are making those plans.
And again, coming at it from a place of love. This really is. I think in the times that we find ourselves right now, and funnily enough, this was where just yesterday, the day before, when we were putting the world to rights, was it Saturday?
Saturday.
Saturday, yeah. So talking with Sean on the porch and putting the world there, some lovely people wandered up and all that fun stuff. But we were just like, putting the world to rights as you do, and we're saying that we live in such horribly polarized times, and what we need is people who are bridges to bring people back together. Not to go look at them. They're the problem.
So this is
just to bring people back together. And I think somehow I feel there's like this bridging function going on here of really, and it has to be at that olive branch, that acceptance, that welcome, that for want of a better word, just hospitality, being hospitable and decent and cordial to people. We've forgotten how to do it. And I think
maybe it's her reminding others.
You may need to do that. You may need to do that.
But cards,
again, come at it from a place of love. And you shall not be wrong.
All right.
You should shuffle them up so we don't keep pulling the same ones again.
I don't think it's going to matter, but
You're going to shuffle.
I'm going to shuffle.
I would try, but we'd be playing 78 card pickup.
You want me to actually spin them this way, I guess?
Well, you can do whatever you want. You're in charge.
All right.
I'm just the token bloke.
I think you go first now, Savannah.
Oh, hello, Savannah. And let's have a look. This one, I think, for Savannah. Oh, right.
Awesome. My first grandson is due this week. It would be great if my other son and his wife were expecting to. Let's wait and see. Oh, that's cool.
Steady now. They'll bankrupt you. You'll run out of sugar eventually with too many grandkids. Just, puppies, drum kits, sugar. Those are the things you need for grandkids. All right. So this is an interesting card. And this is very much about discernment. And it's funny, we were talking about justice and restorative justice and balance. This is the minor arcana version of the justice card. So we've got the Six of Pentacles here. Now, where I come from, and I can do enough math to do this one, 6 divides evenly by 2. But if we look closely, this person's getting 4, and this person here may be getting nothing. So, but you've got to look a little closer. Look, there's this. I don't know if I can't really show you. I'd have to get another thing on. Can you? If you've got this deck, if you have the Rider-Waite deck, then just looky here, the Smith Rider-Waite deck. Let's not dishonor Pamela. There's a little red ticket sticking out of his pocket, or her pocket, or their pocket, and it's so. I feel that this person may be like barking a story which isn't entirely accurate. They might be, and it's, we would say that the squeakiest wheel is the one that gets oiled the first. That ain't always where the oil needs to be, so you use your discernment to sort the wheat from the chaff, to place your resources where they are most effective, to really make best possible use of all available resources, and don't just fall for a bloody sob story.
All right, for you, my inspiration from this card for you for the week, the yellow on this card is just leaping out at me. So I feel a lot of real solar plexus energy because of that, which is like independence, confidence, willpower. I feel like you're bringing something back into balance, and that you might get some really good news regarding something that might have been an untruth. So like the truth might be coming, or something that's going to inspire you, right? So there's some kind of good news, I think, that will recharge your battery.
Perfect.
All right.
Perfect.
That's Savannah. Now, Helena.
That's you.
Down here. Oh.
Mm.
Well, there is a bridge here, so I do think that has to do with uniting something or someone. I think this is you coming out of a funk. You know, I know I'm Aquarian too, and I know some other Aquarians who have really just kind of been quiet during this whole pandemic business. That these last 3 years, you just kind of observed and empathically took in a lot of stuff. And I feel like this card is telling us that the transformation is coming, that you're no longer going to be focused on those past 3 years, that you're going to turn around to the future. So I think this is about protecting yourself, you're dressed in black, and learning how to move forward.
She says long funk. Yeah, I think so. I want to say what she said, but a little more than that. I think sometimes I think you are a very sensitive individual, and I think the shadow of humanity is a very hard thing to see. Especially to somebody who internalizes stuff. It's just...
humanity's been doing their shadow work pretty good, huh?
Well, and...
Showing their shadow anyway.
Yes, and I think it's been a very, very difficult time. But there's it's episode 4 of Star Wars, isn't it? Where it all began. Well, the first one that came up, A New Hope. And I think there is a new hope. That people are realizing that they can affect change, that it's simply by being nice to other people, simply by being the bridge that unites, being the one that brings people together rather than splits people apart.
I think people forget that they can always afford to be kind.
Yeah. It's that old adage, isn't it? In a world where you can be absolutely anything, be kind. And I think kindness is such a wonderful thing to show to people. I mean, especially if, there's somebody not too far from you who really is hurting quite badly at the moment. You've been there in personal, practical experience. You know what it feels like to think, well, all I see is rain, and I can't remember when the sun last shone, and I can't remember imagine the sun ever coming out again. There's this big black cloud following me everywhere. I'm sure you can picture that. But if you can use the fact that you found within you this rejuvenation, this restoration, that balance is being restored, and you're realizing that this is just water under the bridge, and you don't want to drink that green stuff anyway. Believe me, that's no good for you. That these aren't broken; they can be refilled. These are perfectly serviceable behind you. It literally is water on the bridge. And listen, Lisa will tell you, she's the Feng Shui master. I have nothing to do with Feng Shui. I know enough to be positively dangerous, but I do know that a house on a hill with a river running past is an extraordinarily good omen in Feng Shui terms. So, and this isn't just a house. This is a spiritual center. It's a church. So I think there's a lot of holistic healing going on for you right now. And I feel you are moving into a place of light and restoration. And it's mirrored in your name. So there you go. Gotta love it.
All right.
Is that everybody?
Nope, Shannon.
Oh, hello, Shannon.
You pick first for Shannon.
I've got to go with this one. Oh.
Ooh, Shannon.
This does not suck, Shannon.
This is a nice card for the week.
This is a really nice card. Sometimes don't underestimate the value of patience, all right? Because this little snail that you can see, it's really tiny on the card, and I'm sure you can't see it, so pull your own deck out. But this little snail here tells us that, it's going to take a while. But also, I want to tell you this much. You walk outside, you see a snail on the step or on the ramp or whatever, and you think, oh, God, look at the speed that thing's not going. You know, it's moving at a ridiculously slow speed.
But it's like the tortoise and the hare, isn't it?
You go inside, you have a cup of tea, you come out, where the hell did the snail go? And there's no sign of it. It's moved. Because slowly and inexorably, it's just continued doing what it does. It may not do it at lightning speed, but it's doing it. And it's continuing to do it. And I think if you take the wisdom of the snail here, and this is a real promise of great abundance in every respect.
I'm seeing that yellow again. There's the theme. Look, the whole background, the sky is yellow. So to me, I think this week is you recognizing your worth, being more confident, speaking well of yourself.
That's important.
And really like something coming to fruition. Nines are like reaching a pinnacle. So maybe there's some really good news for you regarding work or career. And you see the lady is wearing yellow with red. So there's something she's very passionate about. I just see this as a great place of restoring your power or taking back your stability or feeling that stability again. So I think this week is a great week of confidence and, focus in a great way, especially career-wise. All right.
Perfect. Well, lots of positive reinforcement there. So you guys, I can say there's a bunch of you watching. If you haven't mashed that like button yet, please do so. And do us a favor.
If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe.
Oh yeah, if you're not, yes, if you haven't subscribed,
if you can
I think
share
pretty
the
much
Celtica
everybody
video,
has.
please share it.
Absolutely. And if you're not a channel member, do contemplate becoming a channel member. Every little helps.
For the $5 membership, you get $5 in karma points, and until we get an overwhelming amount of members, you're going to get a reading every Monday. A 1-card reading every Monday.
Yeah. We're going to keep doing this as best we possibly can,
Right.
Even when our membership, grows dramatically.
When we get a ton more members, you may get 1 card from him or 1 card from me. We may not both read the card, because that'll save a little time too. But you'd still get some kind of inspiration for the week. And again, even if you're not a member, you can see that anytime we do readings, there's a theme.
There is.
So whoever's here listening, any of these cards could have spoken to you for this week's inspiration.
Exactly so. Exactly so.
All right.
And also, we'll always do, if somebody throws us a super chat as well, we'll always...
Oh, we would read for a super chat.
We'll do that too, because, we're easily bought.
Well,
we're not easily bought.
We're trying to raise money for a very good cause.
We are trying to secure the land for Celtica. That is our priority.
And we also have a lot of things going on that that does cost money. Like we're working to raise money for the church. So we're going to sell all of these vegetables and herbs and whatever else we actually, even chicken eggs. But you have to have soil and fertilizer and food for the chickens. And, so anything you want to throw our way to help out with that, that's great too. We're really looking to speak Celtica into being. So this is one of the steps we're taking to do that. Building the kitchen gardens and getting things rolling.
Yep, but for us, please excuse me, for us to be a runaway success with this, which we
need to not be such.
We need to be less of a well-kept secret, and you guys can help. You really, really can help. You see one of our videos, share it. You see one of our posts, share it. Please just keep doing that. Tell your friends about us. If you get opportunity to invite somebody to come along and join in for our podcast, the live recording of our podcast, then we'd love you to do that. Bring them along.
Go over there and listen to them. Because again, watch hours help us too.
They do.
So, I know I've said it before, but pick a set of videos, a playlist, just let it play. Don't even worry about if you've already seen it or whatever. The watch hours count to help us towards making some money too. It's, again, everything adds up over time. Oh, and don't forget, we have a merch shelf.
Buy the merch. That helps us too. And we even have tie-dyes. We do. We should order one.
We have a really cool tote bag with carriage one on it too.
Or you could get a hoodie and all sorts of stuff. So go check out our merch shelf. We've got some fun stuff there. It's lovely.
Hard to remember everything that's going on. It's just crazy.
We keep doing it. So yeah, do please mash that like button if you haven't done so already.
And you're all very welcome.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. It's without you there wouldn't be any reason for doing this.
All right. So we are off to the races.
We are.
Thank
We
you.
have got a whole week of fun stuff to do, so we'll
catch
get
up with
in
you
there.
again. And don't forget, shamanism is going to start in July if you want to sign up.
The shamans are coming. Oh my goodness gracious, Gilda, that was totally unnecessary, but
Thank you very much.
Thank you. That was very sweet of you. Totally appreciate it. It's going to a good cause. So you guys have a beautiful week. Be well, be kind, and spread out. God, our phones are going nuts. So See you soon.
Bye. Peace. Blessed be.